Hey, kia ora, Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Mesa in Arizona. Hope you're all having a super fantastic, sparkling, fun Friday. How was your fun Friday? What fun things did you get up to today? Let us know in the comments below because I'm always looking for new ideas to go out and have fun. Well, my fun was that I got to do some more genealogy research. Yay! I love doing my research. And yes, I did get sucked into rabbit holes, but I did remember to take breaks. When I finished a lead, I stopped, I got up, I walked around, we played with Zeffy for a little bit, got something to eat and drink, and then sat back down and back into it again. Sometimes our break was a little longer than 10 minutes, but that's okay. I had a pretty flexible schedule in regards to that today. I got my weekly update out to my client earlier than I had anticipated. I actually had blocked in the calendar to do it this afternoon, but I did it first thing this morning because knowing me, I would have got into down a rabbit hole and yeah, and it probably would have got forgotten. So I got it done first thing this morning while it was all fresh in my mind and everything else. And then I got into the research. So yay! So my reward for getting my to-do list for this week is done. It is complete. So my reward for getting my to-do list done is I get to watch a Christmas movie. And month of December, I always watch Christmas movies in the month of December, and I have six that I have to watch every Christmas season. I watch these Christmas movies because it's not Christmas unless I watch these movies. It helps me get into the Christmas spirit, even though I'm in it like 365 days a year and 366 on leap years. I love Christmas. I have a really cool shirt and I can't find it, so I think it might be in storage, but I've got to dig deeper into my winter stuff. And it says, and a friend of mine, Jeannie, gave it to me, sent it to me one time, and it says on it, Christmas is too sparkly, said no one ever. So that's why I like Christmas, it sparkles. So my top six Christmas movies that I watch every single Christmas season is National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, It's a Wonderful Life, Love Actually, the Santa Claus, the Christmas Candle, and the Polar Express. Those are my get into my Christmas spirit movies. There's lots of other Christmas movies out there, and a few days ago I asked everybody, what's your traditional Christmas movies that you watch? I got a whole slew of different movies that came up in those on that things. There was let's see if I can find them all again. Let's see. Let's see. The Holiday, which I like that movie too. And White Christmas, Meet Me in St. Louis. Christmas Carol with George C. Scott. Miracle on 34th Street, the black and white version. And I have to agree that the black and white version, I prefer that much over the updated version they did later on. Somebody said Elf. Now, me and Elf, yeah, I saw the trailer of that movie and I have never watched it. The trailer actually put me off the movie. Home Alone, White Christmas, A Christmas Story. Let's see. Some of those be repeated because I can't remember what's gone before them. Home Alone, Lost in New York City. Holiday Inn. Now that's one that I haven't seen, so I've actually got on my list to check out. It's got Bing Crosby and Fred Astaire in it, and Linda Mason, and Zeffy's putting her list in. Die Hard. Now those are great Christmas. They're all set at Christmas time, but still, people are sort of, they think they're a Christmas movie. They're set at Christmas time. They're going on Christmas vacation, you know. And somebody else also put out the Bond movies. And Bond movies are good any time of the year. But when I asked my friend Sarah about them, she came back and said she watched them year rounds, but they were always on at Christmas in the UK. It was standard Christmas Day TV. So like, that is so cool. I said White Christmas, didn't I? Let's see. The Grinch, the original animated one. A Christmas Story, It's a Wonderful Life. Let's see, Die Hard's in there again. Die Hard came up. Now here's one I hadn't heard of: March of the Wooden Soldiers. So I'm gonna have to check that one out too. Let's say they actually posted the picture of the movie cover, which it's a Laurel and Hardy movie. The original Babes in Toyland. I remember seeing Babes in Toyland, but it wasn't with Laurel and Hardy. Batman Returns is somebody else's one. And and that was the list. So what Christmas movies do you like to watch that get you into the holiday spirit? Somebody else put the Hallmark movies as well. And I have to admit, the year that Brad passed in 2017, I basically watched nothing but Hallmark movies, um, except for my Christmas ones to try and get me into the spirit of Christmas. And but I was basically watching Hallmark, and I would DVR them, and the DVR almost got full of these movies, and I would just sit there and watch one after the other and zoom through the commercials, then watch the next one, and it was ridiculous. And for me to watch that many chick flicks in a row is insane. Brad always loved Chick Flick Day because he always knew he only had to suffer through one movie. Because when I said, "Okay, I'm doing a Chick Flick Day," and he's like, "Okay," and he would sit there and do whatever on his iPad or read or whatever, and or go sit on the computer. But he would actually sit there in the lounge with me, and so he'd sit there on his laptop or on his iPad, and he would just fuss away with that for a bit, and he would suffer through the one chick flick that I would watch, and then the rest were all action movies. Um, Although I did get him hooked on Legally Blonde. I have to admit, I don't know how many times we have watched that movie, but here's a very interesting fact about that movie. In the scene, sorry, my dog is protesting. In the scene where Al and the boyfriend, damn, can't think of his name. I can see his face when he breaks up with her. So we're sitting there watching it one day, and they're in the breakup scene, sitting there in the restaurant in the breakup scene, and Brad suddenly goes, "That's where we got married." I'm like, "What?" And so he wound the movie back again, and sure enough, they were sitting at a table in the spot of the restaurant that Brad and I got married in. And it's Il Cielo restaurant in Beverly Hills. They have this beautiful indoor-outdoor patio area where they can actually open up the roof as well. And it's all old cobblestones in there. And it's a Northern Italian restaurant. It is fantastic. The wedding cake they made us it was a chocolate cake with raspberry around it, wrapped in a white chocolate icing. Oh, it was so good. And they even wrapped up the top layer for us to take away, and it sat in the freezer at my brother-in-law's pet food place with all the pet food. But we went back a year later, we took it out, and every house we visited around our first anniversary, we took that cake with us. So we got to have many slices that time and reminisce about how good. But I can still, 20, what was it? It would be 22 years this year, it would have been. I can still taste that amazing, rich chocolate cake with the raspberry filling, and it had raspberry wrapped around it with the white icing, with the white chocolate icing on it. And I'm not a big white chocolate fan, but it went beautifully with it. I can still taste that cake in my mouth. But yeah, so we're sitting there watching it, and sure enough, if you have a look at that scene where they do the breakup scene, where their table is where Brad and I stood and got married. So that movie kind of took on a completely different meaning, even though it's a really good movie. And Brad wouldn't do anything else whenever if I put in fact, it was one of those things that if he was channel surfing and like Star Trek was on, or Star Wars, any of his favorite ones were on, he would and like BBC America would do these great big long runs. He would just sit there and watch them. Or we'd be channel flicking through, and if Legally Blonde was on, he'd just turn it on to wherever it was and just carry on watching it. So yeah, so yes, I have had my fill of Hallmark movies. I had 3 months. Well, actually, I waited till after my parents left. So after my parents left, I started watching them, because when my parents were with me just after Brad passed, we sat down and we watched a movie every night, and some nights we'd watch two, and the movies would finish, and then we'd turn the TV on, because it was still on the Hallmark channel. Golden Girls was on, so we'd sit there and watch Golden Girls. So we had a great time when my parents were there, and we watched some really good movies. But then after they left, it was Hallmark movies day and night, and I have had my fill of the Hallmark movies. I really have. But anyway, so what Christmas movies do you enjoy watching? Let us know in the comments below. Do you get your to-do list done? What rewards are you getting tonight? Let us know in the comments. I've got to fly. I have another meeting in 5 minutes. So have a super fantastic, sparkling rest of your fun Friday, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow for a Shake It Up Saturday. Heck on it up.